Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, Novocaine. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way maybe I too one day can lose all feeling in my body, that way my chronic back issues no longer bother me. The synopsis is as follows. When the girl of his dreams gets kidnapped, a man turns his inability to feel pain into an unexpected advantage as he fights a bunch of thugs to get her back. Instead of talking about the 6 things that make a movie great, I'm just going to share my spoiler-free thoughts on the film. This movie opens and spends probably the first 25 minutes establishing the life of Nathan Kane. Nathan Kane is a simple, boring man who's an assistant manager at a bank. He lives a relatively quiet and uninteresting life other than the fact that his body is not able to feel pain. When all of a sudden Sherry walks into the office and walks into his life. He's immediately entranced by her and will do anything to protect her, but then there's a bank robbery and she's taken captive. So this movie shows how he'll do everything at his disposal, including abusing his body that can't feel anything, in order to try and save her. The unfortunate part about this movie, though, is I don't feel like it ever got further than the cool concept. Like, the directors came up with this idea, thought it was really cool, but had no idea how to do anything with it. Because they don't really do anything with it. If you've seen one of the trailers for this movie, you've pretty much seen all of the peak moments of Novocaine using his ability. Everything else in this movie is kind of full of bad pacing issues and the inability to do something interesting with this concept. I'm not a huge fan of Jack Quaid's acting, but I will say this role suited him perfectly because I think he acts with no emotion and doesn't get the audience to feel anything, and that was perfect for this movie because he doesn't feel anything. Wow! But the thing is that was everyone else in this movie as well. Every acting performance was weak and flat, and while I did like Amber Midthunder in the movie Prey, it seemed like Jack Quaid's acting performance was rubbing off on her because her performance in this movie was pretty awful. Jacob Batalon looked like he just was there to pick up a paycheck, but I think that guy's always having fun no matter what he does. We had a Looney Tunes villain, some really weak protagonists, a twist that came a quarter of the way through the movie and effectively made the rest of the movie really boring to watch, and an ending that absolutely mailed it in and challenged your willing suspense of disbelief with stupidity. This movie doesn't even clear 2 hours, but by the time you get to the end of it, it feels like forever, and that's because this movie tries to do the whole, this movie is ending. No, it's not, there's more, and now it's ending. Wait, there's another part. And you're just sitting there in your chair like, I want this to be over, please. This movie did really try its hand at dry humor, and as much as I enjoy that, none of it really seemed to land with the audience. There were a couple parts near the end that I chuckled at, but it was too little too late. And it just kind of felt like for the whole movie, it was this mixture of feeling bored, wanting to laugh, but not finding things funny enough to laugh, kind of enjoying the action scenes, but not really because there wasn't a ton that was really cool that was done with it. So it just left me feeling odd and bored. Obviously, this movie's rated R, has some very graphic violence in it and a mild to moderate bit of profanity. But the thing is, this movie had a ton of issues, and one of them was the storytelling.
With all these areas considered, I have to give Novocaine a 4 out of 10.
Once again, another movie finds itself on top of the I'm not a huge fan of Jack Quaid's acting pile. Maybe one day that will change, but it's not going to start with this movie. So with all that in mind, I don't think Novocaine is worth going to watch or spending your money to see in theaters. Unless, ironically, you want to sit in a chair for an hour and 50 minutes just to feel nothing. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Novocaine, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.